Hi, welcome to SBR Sports Picks. Today is Saturday, May 14th. We've got the OKC Thunder Golden State Warriors series starting on Monday, and myself, Mike Brenner, and Jordan Sharp are going to analyze this series from an odds perspective and discuss whether Golden State can be beaten. Jordan Sharp, let's just start right out with you. Golden State Warriors, barring injury, is there any way they lose this series?
Talk to us,
I think there is, man. I think that the Golden State Warriors, not only are they a little bit vulnerable here, I think the Oklahoma City Thunder have been playing as good or better than any other team here in the playoffs, and I think they have the formula and the definitely the firepower to knock off this Golden State Warriors team, being very undervalued right now in the sportsbook's future odds for this series.
All right, well, right now the odds, I'm quoting Heritage odds right now that I pulled right before we did this call. Warriors minus 455, the Thunder on the other side, plus 350.
Yeah,
Mike Brenner, what do you make of those odds?
Well, I like it. We talked about it with Jordan the other day. I even put some money down on Westbrook,
right.
Plus 1,400 MVP.
That's not bad.
We broke it down the other day how they would face the Spurs. It came to fruition, and as Jordan said, what is happening with what they've inserted in their lineup with Cantner and Adams has absolutely just made this team fun. You got Dion Waiters, and what the most scary part about is the momentum, and you can't buy that. Mm-hmm. The momentum this team has is absolutely through the roof. Yes, what Jordan said is correct. They are absolutely, if not the best, one of the best. I'm telling you, I think it's going to be Cleveland and Golden and Oklahoma City in the finals. I really think that's an absolute possibility.
Well, so what changed? I mean, in the regular season, Golden State looked like they couldn't even be beaten by anyone. No, now you're saying that the Thunder have a decent chance of winning 4 out of 7.
And you know what? That's why they play the whole season, Pete.
Right.
And when you got Billy Donovan learning, and Jordan, I want you to jump in on this. Donovan learning the system. They're figuring it out. The defense he imparted and brought from Florida is taking place. They see it, and he's letting them run and have fun with that. Golden State, it's hard being the team, game in, game out, game in. I felt they could break the Bulls record. I even felt they could repeat, but some things have happened. I'm seeing some cracks in the foundation. Jordan, what do you think?
Well, yeah, Jordan, I mean, to anyone who's handicapping this, just from a once-over recreational perspective, they see a team, Golden State, that set the record for regular season wins, and now, though, you're saying that they have a good shot of losing the conference championship, losing 4 out of 7 to another team. What changed, Jordan Sharp?
Yeah, so I think there's a couple of things going on here. The Thunder have really, and Mike's absolutely right. Billy Donovan's kind of learning on the fly here, but one thing he has learned here, and I think it's even more so than the defense, which I'll talk about here in a second, is that he's finally learned that he needs to stagger the minutes of Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook a little bit better. You saw earlier in the season he'd have both those guys sitting at the beginning of the fourth quarter. What happens? They blew so many fourth quarter leads. They finally realized that they need to have one of those guys on the floor at all times, finally giving some teams some pressure in the fourth quarter. That's number one. The second thing we saw here in the playoffs is that defense, like Mike said, has woken up. They have a defensive rating in their last 5 games against the San Antonio Spurs of 100.2, which means they are giving up only 100 points per 100 possessions. That is the second best mark other than the Miami Heat in the playoffs so far, if you count just the last 5 games overall. So I think the Thunder have figured some things out, and not only do we talk about it all the time, that Cantner and Adams lineup is going to be very difficult for the Warriors to counteract because they have not been a great rebounding team, and Draymond Green is not going to have the same success against those guys rebounding the basketball as he had over the last 2 series. I also think the Thunder have had a much tougher road. They're a little bit more battle-tested coming into this one. They are looking like a very good upset value. I still think the Warriors are the favorite. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here. But with where they're priced right now, it is an absolute value right now where the Thunder are sitting. I think you can get them at 4-1 at other shops. I know, Pete, you said plus 350 as well, but they are a very good value right now.
I just love the way he busts a game down. I love it. I love the way you break them down, Jordan. I mean it. And it's so insightful. And you know what? Another factor that plays into this is that the whole season, all right, the spotlight's been on the Warriors. All right, teams love flying under the radar. I'm telling you right now, LeBron James and company are sitting back and going, my God, no one's talking about us, and I love it. All right, and the same thing with the Thunder, except it's transitioned into them growing from one series to the other and learning that they got the big guys coming in. And we haven't even talked about Mitch McAdams. That guy gets in the game, he has fun. But it's amazing how it just all pans out. The things that the Warriors had to put up with this year, all right, as far as coaching, having an operation at the beginning of the year, everything else with the pressure, they've done an amazing job. But I'm just telling you, I feel like they can be had, and I would not at all be surprised if OKC wins this in 6. And I'm just saying it with confidence because, all right, here it is. Bogut does not impress me this year, okay? And he's banged up now. 9 minutes, he was 2 for 5 from the floor. He had 4 rebounds, okay, and a bunch of fouls. Draymond Green, 2 for 7, 1-5 from 3 land. All right, 5 personal fouls and 4 TOs, okay? 4 turnovers, Draymond Green. Spites, this guy I don't think could play for another team as far as be effective. 2 for 7, 9 minutes, 5 points, 4 personal fouls. So I think he is a liability, all right? They know how to play Draymond Green. I think they really do, and I think he's going to have trouble adjusting to both these guys coming in fresh, back and forth, because he does not have that guy behind him. And I really, really feel this. Steph Curry, the best in the league. I love the guy. That knee is still hurting. All right, he's had days to take off. Guess what? That thing's hurting him a little bit more. If he tries to press and do too much, which he may have, because it's him and Thompson, all right, it's going to maybe jeopardize his injury. I'm just telling you, this is a wide open path. I love the Warriors. They've done great things. They'll be back. They're not winning it this year, Pistons.
Wow. All right. So yeah. So that's that might be the smartest way to bet this is the OKC Thunder in 6 because you'll get much better odds than that.
And if Call me crazy. Call me crazy,
I mean,
bro.
if it goes to a Game 7, then that would mean that OKC will have to go into Golden State and win a Game 7.
So
Jordan Sharp, what do you think about that? If you like OKC here to win the series, you think there's even better value with OKC to win in 6?
Yeah, absolutely, because I think they can steal one in Golden State. I mean, look, Mike touched on it too. I mean, you're hitting exactly the right points here. You know, Stephen Curry's knee, not 100%. He's going to have to chase around Russell Westbrook. That is not an easy assignment. Yeah, he had to chase around Damian Lillard for a little while, but he was injured a lot of those last 2 series. He has not had to face that kind of driving pressure on that knee here. And Klay Thompson has had an outstanding postseason. He had an even better one last year. If he wakes up, that can make things a little bit closer. But yeah, 6 games is probably the way to go in this one because I think the Golden State Warriors, obviously, as we've seen, a little bit different team when they play on the road than they play at home. So if the Thunder can steal one from them, if the way they've been rebounding the basketball with Kanter and Adams, that lineup is just unbeatable. They're about plus 40 rebounding percentages above any other team they played with that lineup on the floor. They're about plus 25 points per 100 possessions with that lineup on the floor. They're as deep as Golden State. They can play fast. They can play big. They can play small. They have a lot of options, and I just really love how they match up here, and especially when it comes down to their 2 best players versus the Warriors' 2 best players. I'll take Westbrook and Durant in that series any day over Draymond Green and Steph Curry.
I'm just loving
All right,
this.
so it sounds like you guys are in agreement here. You like an OK value. You're not saying that OKC should be the favorite, but value with OKC at plus 50 and even better value on OKC to win in 6.
So I love that on 6, and I love Westbrook to be the MVP because him and Durant, they could win it all. And I'm telling you another thing that's transpired, and it's been a story all year long because he was as good as gone. He was gone from OKC. All right, now that him and Donovan have gotten on the same page and literally figured it out, they see beyond it. And I heard today, all right, as soon as the next 48 hours, he's going to already be signing a 1 to 2 year deal again with OKC. This guy sees the writing on the wall with the future opportunities. He sees Donovan's a winner, and Westbrook's the best guy he could ever be playing with. So it's exciting, and that whole city of Oklahoma City, they deserve it, okay? It's a guy that donated $1 million check when they had, no, for real.
Yeah, no, I know.
This touches me. I get into the sports side because ego goes everywhere. They're going to bring it. This team's going to be on fire.
Yes.
They want the title. I love this.
All right, so let's touch on anticipated possible value with game lines and maybe with props as well. Jordan Sharp, do you see OKC is probably having an edge with their game spreads as well? Do you see overs or unders is more likely? And what do you have to say about props?
I think with the way the Thunder are playing defense and the way the Warriors have been playing defense this postseason, I think they're probably going to trend under because I think both teams are probably going to want to play their bigger lineups a little bit. But with props, I really do, and we'll touch on, we talked a lot about the Thunder in this video, but let me go over to the other side because the one lineup that I think that the Warriors can throw at the Thunder to give them some problems is a little bit smaller lineup with Draymond Green playing the 5 and with Andre Iguodala in the rotation. I think he is the X factor for this. And I think he's going to have to play a lot of minutes. Not only are they going to need his defense against Kevin Durant and even Russell Westbrook probably at times here in this one, I think he's going to need to be that offensive factor because you got Thompson, you got Green, you got Curry. Not a whole lot of offense from the Warriors outside of those 3 guys. So if the Warriors or the Thunder can shut down one of those guys, really improves their chances. So Iguodala is going to have to be that guy. He's going to have to be knocking down threes, which he's kind of sporadic at that. But I think they're going to give him the shot attempts. Would not surprise me to see him get double-digit double-digit shot attempts every game in this series. So I like him. I like him a lot here in this one to potentially be some prop betting value because I think the lines will be a little bit softer. Book's probably not going to know how to set those lines here for game number 1 in that one. And for the spreads,
hey, wait,
I think
before you get too far,
yeah.
let me ask you this, because Iguodala, this is interesting. I'm glad you brought that up. This is the guy that was MVP last year, all right? He has very, very quietly not been doing a whole lot, Jordan. How come, or maybe it's now, how come they haven't said, you know what, we got to use him the same way we used him when we won the title last year? Because this guy has been very, very quiet. And you just said it. There's only a couple guys really doing a bulk of the scoring. He has the ability. That's why he got the MVP. All right. They better go towards that, okay, because Steph Curry won't be able to do it all.
Yeah, they really probably haven't used him yet because they really probably haven't had to. It's one of those things like, why do we waste the veterans' legs when we really don't need him to here in the first couple rounds? That's kind of how they were, at the beginning of the postseason last year, and he slowly started getting more minutes in the conference finals, and of course got about 35 a game in the NBA finals after that game number 1 where they benched Bogut. So I think it really comes down to him being a distributor as well, because they really haven't needed him as much in that department because Green has been so good distributing the basketball, running the offense through him. But they're going to need him in this game, in this series, because they, like I said, that the Thunder have enough really good power forward defenders like Serge Ibaka. Enes Kanter's not a great defender, but at least he's big, and of course Steven Adams, a very good defender, to throw at Draymond Green to kind of frustrate him. So I think that Iguodala is going to have to not only take on a bigger scoring role, he's going to have to be more of a facilitator, so his assist prop, points prop, something like that. I think finally we're going to see Andre Iguodala unleashed here in this series.
Well, there's another guy you have to talk about with props then, and this guy could start for any other team in the NBA. We haven't talked about him. They're going to go to him because he shows he can get it done. Livingston. Sean Livingston, this guy is the real deal, okay? What do you think about him? How about his prop bet capability or a possibility for cashing? And do you agree, because of Curry, maybe having knee problems, they might be letting him come out a little bit more to the perimeter? That kid's got a game all the way around.
Yeah, they're going to have to, when they go small, Livingston is going to be in there. I suspect their best small ball lineup's going to include Livingston with Curry, Thompson, Draymond Green, and probably Andre Iguodala is what the lineup. If there's any way that they have a chance of countering that big lineup of OKC, it's to go really small, run the hell out of the basketball, and get Livingston and Curry into the paint, kicking out to those other guys for three-pointer. And Iguodala, him and Livingston kind of handling the ball and then kicking out to those three-point shooters. So it wouldn't surprise me to them take the ball out of Curry's hands a little bit too. Like you said, against Westbrook, I think that's probably their best counteract against Westbrook going against Curry is to get the ball out of Curry's hands, run him and Westbrook off a bunch of screens and get Westbrook on the other end tired out as well. It's Westbrook's not a great defender. He's an adequate defender. He's not a great defender. So there's going to be a lot of very interesting, switches and different kinds of strategy for these two coaches. It's going to come down to Kerr versus Billy Donovan too, though. So that concerns me a little bit. But one of these coaches is going to win this game for this one.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we will be handicapping game 1 on Monday, but it sounds like Jordan Sharp and Mike Brenner in agreement. Best value here, OKC to win it in 6. That should be about 5-1 or so.
And there's one factor I want to wrap it up with, and Jordan, when he said what he said, it just put the icing on the cake for me, because now I really think they're going to do the deal. All right. Russell Westbrook is going to be running crazy. That is how you do it. You get to his Steph Curry's knee by letting him just run all over the place. He's going to have to chase him. Guess what, buddy? OKC's going to win the series.
All right, sounds good. We'll tackle game 1 on Monday.